tired. Theme, the night of the Were-Ferret. Ooh. I like that. Let me just find my improv story prompt. Night of the Were-Ferret. Pog! And we need to make it a bit smaller, but nice. I don't really know that much about ferrets. I'm gonna look up some ferret facts really quick. Just so I have something to go off. Ooh, okay, okay. The average lifespan of a domestic ferret is 8 years. No, that's so sad. That's no time at all. An intact female ferret is a Jill and a spayed female is a Sprite. That's so cute. An intact male is a Hob and a neutered male is a Gib. Baby ferrets are called kits. A group of ferrets is a business. Or a pheasning. Yeah, pheasning. A group of ferrets is a business. That's so cute. That's ages for such a tiny animal. I guess so, but they look like the kind of animal that would live like as long as rabbits or something. I don't know. I'm gonna skip to this. Is this gonna be... Yeah, this is better spooky music. Right. Let me take my scarf off. Oh, like broke my neck. Right, business of ferret. Right. This is... Wait. I just want to move the text a little bit. This is an improv story for the theme of Night of the Were-Ferret. Once upon a time, there was a little boy called Terry, and he had a pet ferret called Silas. He had a pet ferret called Silas. Silas was the sweetest looking ferret you ever saw. He was a good little boy. He ate all his vegetables, all his greens. He was such a good boy. But he always went to bed at a specific time. He always went to bed around like 6 o'clock. So Terry never really saw a lot of Silas in the evening. But that's fine, because, you know, maybe he was just nocturnal. Maybe he was a little bit nocturnal, or he liked an early night. Pardon me. That was not part of the story. And one day, Terry heard a very peculiar sound coming from Silas's cage. Terry was very confused. He approached the cage and he said, "Silas, are you okay in there, buddy? Was it the greens? You've been eating a lot of spinach recently, buddy." And he didn't hear anything for a moment. A moment went by, and then another moment, and then 3 more moments went by. It was a very long amount of moments. It was like a chain reaction of moments. And then suddenly, the little cardboard house that Silas was sleeping in ripped open, and a muscular looking ferret head poked out of the hole. Terry jumped back in surprise and banged his back against the framed photo of his dear friend on the wall. his dear friend Gary on the wall. And he knocked it off and it broke. He started crying because he loved that photo frame, but he was also distracted by the fucking muscular ferret in the cage. He looked around, and Silas was growing and growing and growing, more and more muscular and bigger and bigger and bigger, until he was about as big as the roof of his room, because he had burst through the fucking roof. I was gonna say ceiling, but I get ceiling and roof mixed up. So he burst through the roof. It works. He's big, so he burst through the roof. Terry was so surprised, he didn't know what to do. He looked at Silas, and he said, "Silas, buddy, I'm so sorry. Was it the vitamins and the fucking broccoli? You'd given me some funny business, bro." And then he looked back at his computer, and he remembered that he'd just been Googling facts about ferrets, literally like a minute ago. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. Ferrets get more active during dusk/dawn. How could I forget such an important fact?" And Silas looked down at Terry. Terry looked up at Silas. A moment went by in complete silence, like this. And then the music came back on. And Silas, his eyes started to glow red. And he fucking chomped on Terry's head and ripped it off. And what was inside Terry's neck but was fucking Skittles and some gingerbread? What the fuck was that doing in there? Terry simply picked up his head and put it back on and said, "Silas, that is a bad boy. Get back in your cage." Silas grumbled and ferret noises. Squeak, 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 squeak. Went back in his cage. Terry quickly zipped up his neck, went back into the kitchen, looked back at Silas and said, "Naughty boy, I'm not giving you any more vitamins in your spinach." By now Silas was a little ferrety boy, just scuttling around in his cage again. He was all good. Terry went back into the kitchen. He opened the cupboard, and all there was Skittles, gingerbread, and other assorted sweet items. He grabbed them, unzipped his neck, and stuffed them in his neck. He was like, "This'll keep me warm for the winter. I've got all the food I need right here." And then suddenly, Terry's legs got longer. His feet became giant padded paws. His hands grew giant claws that were as long as a banana. And he turned and looked at the camera and said, "You fucking thought Silas was the Were-Ferret, didn't you? Well, turns out..." And then a fucking little ferret nose grows from his nose. "I was the ferret the whole time!" That sounded like fucking Final Fantasy villain laugh. And then he fucking jumped out of the house. He went through the roof, jumped out of the house, flew into the sky, Team Rocket style, and disappeared. Into the moon. The end. The end. You want to know how I know that this story is true? Because I was on a web chat with him at the time, and he still had his face cam on, and I saw the whole fucking thing. Yeah, I was just as confused. I was even more confused than you guys probably are, because I was looking at what was going on. Terry was a ferret the whole time, mind blown. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, when I was looking on the website, ferrets actually made of Skittles. Rocket Ferret, yeah boy, guitar riff. But yeah, no one has seen Terry again. I assume he's fine though, because he's got all the food he needs for the winter. I don't know where I was going with this story, but that was my story, Night of the Were-Ferret. Thank you very much, Silas, the person, for the prompt. I'm sorry for calling the ferret of the story Silas, but I literally couldn't think of a name. And I was like, well, this is your story. Let's have Silas featured in it. I'm sorry if it was rubbish. Hopefully I get better at this improv thing, but it's fun. It's fun. I enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I enjoy it, because it's fun. It gets your cortex is working, gets your brain up and running.